I wanted to say, you thought I was going to end it, but then I ended it anyway. So there's something else that happened last night, or this night. I had this dream, and something weird happened, and I only had that once before, or twice. So the weird thing is now I haven't masturbated since a couple of days. And I feel like, I feel more like a man again, like strong. Not so... That's how I feel when I masturbate, like the life basically draining out of me. And the thing is, I had it once. I met this woman, this is over already. I went to her because she invited me and somebody else. And I stayed at her place, and I don't know what happened, but the first time in my life, because I think I also didn't masturbate for a while, I had a wet dream. Like I had a really sexual dream, and like I never had so much semen coming out of me. I don't know where that came from. And I also don't know why it happened. I just slept in her room, and this kind of female energy, it just like, it was literally, I didn't have sex with her, but I might as well have, because I was in her energy, and that was, it's like being sucked up by femininity or something. It's like you enter her apartment and it feels like you're entering a vagina. That's how it felt like. And no, I didn't have sex with her, but I don't know what happened. It almost felt like our energies were like... And it happened one more time, and I never had that with anybody else, and I don't know why it happened with her. I don't know if that was then some kind of healing, or if like there was energy coming out of my body. I don't know. That's why sometimes I felt like masturbation helped me to get rid of some kind of energy that I wanted to get rid of. And that's why sometimes it helped me to get out of some kind of hell I was in, because it got rid of the energy somehow. But then I also had to stop using that method afterwards. So there had to be always a point where I said, okay, now I have the strength to stop. So I don't know how that works. You have to figure these things out for yourself. And last night, I had this weird dream with the cat. And somehow, during that time, I felt like, so I was half in the dream and half conscious. So I felt like I was dreaming, but I wasn't awake. So it's almost like you sense your body, but you're not your body. A bit like floating above the person who's dreaming or something. It's strange. And I felt the need, like I wanted to have an orgasm. And I was just focusing, like I had the intention to orgasm. Because I felt like there was so much energy and I just wanted to have this, And I did this in my dream. I didn't really have a sexual fantasy, just the feeling of having an orgasm. And I don't really know what I did. I just focused on releasing energy or something. So just, without touching anything, I just was willing myself to have an orgasm, and I had one. But not with the usual release of semen. Nothing. So it was a dry orgasm. And it was a whole body sensation. So it wasn't like going outwards. No, it was like filling my whole body, like you would say a woman has it. And And that also has something to do with Tantra. That you do not release your energy in the form of life force, with your semen, but that you direct it upwards into your whole body, and that's when the healing, you can actually heal then through sex. Because if you come together with your wife or your partner, and like, I'm a man and she would be on top of me, and you kind of connecting with each other. Like I often had problems with premature ejaculation. Like as soon as she would be there, I would like shoot up. So it's also for me something to practice, because I didn't always have that, but I started to develop it somehow. I don't know why. Maybe I wanted to end it or something. But also I'm quite sensitive to energies, so that's also a reason, like I can't hold it. So now also I'm practicing to hold the energy in, but it's also a way of redirecting it. So instead of shooting it out, you redirect it upwards to your third eye. And that's what you then do in tantric sex. Imagine she's on top of you. And that has something to do with also, you have these pelvic muscles, pelvic floor muscles, and you contract them. And that redirects the energy upwards. You can even feel that. Wow. Sometimes you feel like you have pressure down here, and then you contract these muscles, and then you pull in. This, and you can feel how energy is going inside of you. And you do that during meditation or something. It changes something, because it redirects the energy up to your third eye. And now imagine you have a woman sitting on top of you. You have the smell of her skin, her fragrance. And it's not about shooting the energy into her. It's about now you're connected. It's like a circle. And together you are rising with your energy levels, contracting these muscles. And because you are that kind of penetrative energy. So why are men often like warm and women like that? The man is warm because the man is radiating energy. And the woman is able to take that up. Of course, it's a lot of practice. I believe Mantak Chia talks about this. So, even though I don't have sex at the moment, I'm still practicing this. Sometimes I practice it with masturbation to practice to not have an orgasm, and it's quite hard. But last night I had it. And I have managed beforehand already, and that is when you masturbate and you climax, but there's no sperm coming out. And that's when you redirect the energy. And then of course, you keep practicing it. And sometimes I manage then with cannabis, smoking a bit beforehand, and then doing that, taking the time, taking some coconut oil, and really relishing the experience. And now I'm just trying to hold the energy in and to use it for my creative work. Because as soon as I don't want to touch that anymore. I said that already multiple times, but it's every time, I fail, okay, the challenge is up again. Okay, try, you failed, try again. So, it's just making new experiences and figuring out new ways to do these things. And I believe that, of course, there are different ways to connect. And that's why also I don't know really how it's like to have sex with psychedelics. And I wouldn't do that with anyone. Like, that is only something I would do with the woman who would call herself my wife. Only with her. Because that's a level of connection that I don't just want to do casually. That's like for spiritual growth. That's how you should use psychedelics, only for spiritual growth and not to party. So try that. You go somewhere to a festival, you take psychedelics, you don't engage in the party, you just sit there and you observe it. As soon as they suck you into the party, you're kind of lost. So if you want to take psychedelics on a festival, you take it, but you don't engage into the festivities. You just observe what's going on, what's happening. You can sit there like this and observe. But of course, if you don't know what you're doing, they're gonna suck you in. And you're gonna end up groveling on the ground like the pigs, fucking around and stuff. So, if you don't know what you're doing, rather don't do it. It's not for everyone. Psychedelics are not for everyone. Some people will just spiral so deep into hell that it will take a lot of effort to get them out of this. That's a fact. And while I know I can get people out of these places and teach them how to stay out of it, you know, it's maybe better to not make these experiences at all if you don't trust yourself. And if you don't trust the people. Because that can actually damage you in ways that you don't understand because you're ignorant of it. So there's always consequences, and some of the consequences may be too much for you to handle. And yeah, I seem to be somewhat different in these kind of things. Anyway. So yeah, that was a weird dream. But it also felt very good. And that just makes me, you know, look forward to being together with that woman that I love. But also means there's still a lot of stuff for me to do. So I just keep going, which is why I sit here, instead of continuing to lay in that bed. Because I have to work, and that's the work that I chose beforehand already. Before reincarnating into this body, I already chose the work. And now, you know, my job then here in this life is to figure out what I chose already. Right? What did I choose? This is what I need to do in this life to grow. And then I just go ahead and do it. And then I accept what my feeling tells me and I just go about doing it. And that's what you want to figure out. If you want to grow spiritually. And live according to your nature.